work. So he's actually the one giving us this BSides here in Huntsville. So please give him a hand. We have Paul.
Thank you, Shirley. She convinced me to do this. She did all the work. She pulled together Calvin, Matt Vick, and Nina, and the whole team to come together to support this. The guys from Calvin blowing me away. Blowing me away how hard Calvin worked to pull this together. But Charlene routed everybody and gathered everybody to support this. She did a wonderful job pulling this together. All I did was come up with an idea and give it to Charlene. I'll warn you, don't come up with an idea and share it with Charlene if you don't want to have to do it. She will drag you into it.
The next BSides will be in the Philippines, just to let you know that.
Another idea, that's the second idea. I won't have a third idea. We're going to the Philippines next. So I'm Paul Coggin. I work for Dynamics in Huntsville. My focus is network architecture, specifically critical infrastructure, utilities, telco, service providers, and I'm trying to get into some real-world stories about how critical infrastructure is being targeted and attacked. There are all kinds of information out on the web and in the news about critical infrastructure. I want to give you some examples of real-world problems I've been involved in. And part of the idea of the title of the talk, BPT, whenever somebody gets attacked these days, they blame it on BPT, which is the Advanced Persistent Threat, which is basically the code for the Chinese, the People's Liberation Army. Security guys are breaking into everybody's networks these days. So to make fun of that, I came up with BPT, the Basic Persistent Threat, because it may be somebody, it may be a nation state, it could be Eastern European organized crime that's coming back to the network, it could be some advanced adversaries. But typically, once again, it's not a big movement. The organization has been holding on to these really basic issues, as I'm going to show you, some really old school stuff in economics and tires. You don't have to be legal. So this is the kind of networks that I spent a lot of time building. I'm not designing to build these kinds of networks. I'm trying to figure out how to break into them or try to get them more secure. At the top, what you see. What you see is servers where the brains of the operation is. That's where the things are being managed, their billing systems are, when you go online and pay your bills, all the back office operations, so it won't be bandwidth at home. You start ordering new services from your telco, that's probably where all those operations are happening. And when you move down into the cloud behind here, that's where the core network infrastructure is as an organization in these telcos and critical infrastructure networks. You get into some advanced technologies, lots of acronyms like UPLS, multiple protocol data switching, which is some really advanced IP value. And some technologies where we can take a fiber and send multiple signals down the fiber, so the fiber looks like multiple connections instead of a single connection. We call that EVD. And we move down into technology where we're providing equipment to bring your home or your business, or say a water treatment plant or a power substation onto the network. We call this the aggregation area. What problem? What we face is a global problem. We've been around the world, all the utilities and other organizations, and is all of these systems are put in on top of here are typically put in by different vendors, with different lots of manufacturers and lots of integrators pulling this all together and providing services. And all of these organizations, in most cases, they won't remote support access into this network. They need people to come in from the business, from their home, wherever they're working that day, to come back in and support the customer that's following this infrastructure. So when things go bad, you call when you're air fire and they'll catch it. Things are down, you're down hard, you've got to get back up. Somebody's got to get into this network and get these services restored, whether it's your cable TV, your voice, your internet. And so they're going to make sure they're going to provide it into their contracts. You're going to provide them this remote access into the network. It's saying about security. You're going to provide this remote access. And they even use the verbiage of secure. Who determines what security is? Security is turned into just a marketing terminology. I like this in all the other and also, part of the call out is there's a trust relationship where all these systems are integrated, and there's a chain of trust where the different systems are interconnected and have to communicate with one another. So that if you're an adversary, you're getting access to one of these systems that dominoes are easy to fall when you start thinking from one system to the next as you dive down into the network. SCADA, earlier, gentleman from UAH talked about SCADA, and someone asked about ISO 99. This is the ISO 99 architecture for SCADA, best practice of how say a manufacturer or a utility should implement an architecture for security SCADA system, which at the top is where the business network is, and as you move down to different layers, the next layer down, where you might have some SCADA servers that have some close relationships with the business network. And as you dive down, you start adding more levels of intelligence for the control system, or the SCADA network, which basically controls real equipment that's doing real work. As you move down the chart, you're transition at the bottom to equipment that is going to take a network connection and translate it into some kind of real activity like flipping a relay or turning on and turning off a water pump or something like that. Depending on whether you're in a chemical plant or you're in a power plant, you might be flipping breakers in the substation as you move down. This is a really nice chart. I'm looking for networks to implement this in most cases. The networks that I get access to, they do not look like this. They do not have these layered segmentation and firewalls at the different key levels. But typically what we find is there will be this segmentation, but it will be a circle with just multiple connections, multiple Ethernet connections that tie together. So all, if you're an adversary, going after this network infrastructure, all you have to do is send an email from the internet, get into the business network here somewhere, and then you can say, find this Windows server in most cases, and pivot it down into the network. And increase your level of trust as you pivot to the network. If there's a firewall, we have certain cases where firewalls have been put in place. If there are firewalls have been implemented by systems integrators to the point that by the time they get through a bunch of holes in these firewalls, they're basically nothing around them. They're just devices that pass traffic from one logical network to the other logical network. The faceplate says firewall. It has a feature set, the capabilities and functionality that operates as a firewall, but it's not really acting as a firewall at the end of the day when we're seeing those cases. Here's some real world examples I give to you from the telco world about how these type of networks will be put in place for communication. I got a copy of an RFP response somebody asked from an organization that does this, where they've written in that they will have this type of remote access. In this case, we have both a salt switch vendor. A salt switch is kind of like basically a phone system. It's a voice over IP phone system that is designed to scale for a large regional geographic area like the city, very, very large areas. It's called a class 5 switch. It can support tens and hundreds of thousands of devices. If you use voice over IP for business, or you got a phone system for business, your phone system for business, this is kind of like the same thing that just scales to tens and hundreds of thousands. Organization put this system in, rated system, and what happened is the vendor put in a server here. One connection to the internet, one connection into the internal network. The bad guys found this server scanning the internet, found this server with an open SSH port, which is basically a capability to do a secure remote connection, encrypted over the internet, and open up a terminal window into the server. And the problem is anyone that found that system could hit that box and try over and over and over again repeatedly to log into it until they were successful. They did not go and lock down who they trusted to try to make a connection to that system. Some gentlemen from Eastern Europe found it, and they hid it until they were able to get in and took it over. And the only reason the organization found out that it had been hacked was a bank over in Europe contacted with a cease and desist letters from the law, and then they realized that they'd been hacked. In the same scenario, went down with another organization. They put in a network infrastructure for their new core network, and another vendor put in the same system, one leg to the internet, one leg into the internal sensitive network, and this backbone network. All of the services, everything that they sold their customers, the voice network, as in 911, dial tone to your home, dial tone to businesses, internet, cable TV, all those services are needing this backbone infrastructure. Well, that system, they got hacked. The individuals, if they knew what they were doing, they could have took out the whole network and shut it down. But it was the network management brains for that whole network infrastructure. Lucky for them, if there was some people that wanted to use them as a pivot point, beginning to attack Europe, attack the bank in Europe. They got the cease and desist letters from Europe, and they found out that they had been hacked. But in both cases, a vendor put this in and bypassed the security tools installed. The organization had firewalls, they had all kinds of security devices, but there wasn't a policy in place coming from the executive level down about how things would be securely implemented. And so the vendors were able to put in their system, because they use an encrypted connection, it's secure. It's all hard. You got to really dig into what you're buying and how things are being implemented when you're putting in the new systems. It could have very easily been secured. This story here, have a service provider. They provide voice, video, internet. They, in some cases, they may provide smart grid. Everybody talks about smart grid. That's all over the news. They provide smart grid services to utilities in some cases. Where smart grid utilities are putting out where you got smart meters and you can automatically read somebody's meter without having to do a truck code. All of those services run across the network. And we got brought in to do a pen test, go and test the security of the network. And what we found is when we did the testing, best practices is to have a firewall and have a separate network, say up here, with simply with what we call a BPT, a demilitarized zone, separate segment with servers that can be somewhat, they're secure, but somewhat less secure than the internal network operations. It's a level of security. Hopefully, if the bad guys are coming at you, you'll catch them off in here somewhere before they get into your internal network, hopefully. Well, a vendor, keep having a vendor come up. That's where I started out calling this a BPT. By the time I got through the presentation at another conference, I called it BPT, vendor persistence threat. So the organizations are putting these things in. They believe the marketing about the system. The vendors are putting things in and leaving them unsecured. So we went in and we did a pen test, and we discovered that they did not have what we call an external building system in their DMZ. They did not have external web servers. Everything was running on their internal building system. Their external services and their internal services set on one server on the inside of the firewall. So the back out, you got to do one box, and you own everything. They do our pen test. That's what ended up happening. We ended up finding a web vulnerability. We ended up getting a web JDOS command shell on their internal server. And from that, we were able to go and spread influence on the network, capture the credentials, and gain and increase our access on the network so that we had full privilege. We were asked to stop because of the trust relationship with the internal network that I was mentioning earlier in the first slide. What we wanted to do to show the danger was go and pivot. We started acting the brains of the network operations and show how services could be taken away. We weren't going to take away the service to show that we couldn't get that access. how devastating an attack this could have been. What I learned as a technical is the organization that put this in was the building system integrator. That's a common thread inside the vendors or the building system integrator. I ended up introducing most of these problems in many cases. But the thing I learned as a technical is you really got to go and understand the business conversation, the financial conversation. We got all of this access to this link, and we could theoretically we return police could have taken control of their complete infrastructure. But the building system vendor put in this system and they put in the firewall. So they designed this bad architecture. So we go into a large report, lots of screenshots showing beyond the shadow of a doubt how we took over this infrastructure. Building system vendor control, they get bills paid, they get payroll paid. The money comes in and out through their system. It does not matter that we have a big slide there showing how we're going to take the network. Guys who run help make these business done, we're in the conversation. So as technical, as network guys, security guys, we've got to learn some business conversation. There's a really good marketing speakers. And the building system vendor, they want the argument. They get to keep on doing business with that customer around security. This architecture stays in place. We don't get to do security workers. If you're in this business, you're going to be a security person. You also got to have that balance and have a business conversation. So when you get in, you start talking to executives, you can talk their language, not just talk routers and IP addresses and vulnerabilities and start talking about a root shell. A CEO doesn't know what a root shell is. You understand? Account payable. You gotta have a conversation. Here's a hub store. We got this large core transport network for all the services, voice, video, CATV, internet, run across the support network. This case was an accident. The core infrastructure that we have here is designed to support multiple types of services, voice, video, internet, cable TV, all running over one infrastructure, and to make sure that the cable TV, basically, whenever you go, if you just click your phone with cable TV over IP, what we call IPTV, you're mapping your TV channel to an IP address. So when you use your clicker, you're basically changing like multicast address. So that's performing very, very fast. So what the vendor did for their hardware here before, they built it into their chipset, their ASIC, so that anything that gets put into the logical network or cable TV, that even that traffic will be replicated very, very fast across the network. So that there would be minimal latency. So if you're home, in your clicker and change the channel, you would get instantaneous. It would be very, very fast. And so they kind of doing that, broke the RSCs for multicast, which is not too bad, because things work like that. But what happened is a technician was provisioning new services. And he accidentally put in internet traffic into the network of the cable TV. Because the RFCs were broken, it was multicast hardware. So that anything I put in that network had automatically replicated. There was no protocol decision making. There was no algorithm to go do all the handshakes, RFC flying, multicast. It would just get replicated automatically. Collision and a lot of internet traffic, basically infected DSL users at home into that network. They started getting replicated out of everything. So internet causes denial of service. I guess it's low core infrastructure taking the whole network out. The key thing to take away from this is it's a bad story, but the good side is they had tools put in place so that as soon as the problem started happening, they had visual tools so they could visually see what was happening and how to go troubleshoot. Though the network was being affected, it was taking services out. Because they made that investment, they could find the problems quickly and recover from it. In most cases, this type of network is money being put in, and there's not a proper investment being made in real-time network forensics on the network. Luckily, these gentlemen had the infrastructure put in place so they could monitor the network. Now, this problem here, I just read about it yesterday, this morning. This is still happening. It's amazing. We discovered it a couple of years ago, somewhere here in the U.S. We got involved with some problems with some telcos. Someone somewhere in the world started going and looking for DSL routers, like your DSL router at home, and trying to find DSL routers that they could log into a username password so they could take it over and execute a DNS attack against your DSL router, basically change the IP configuration of the router so that whenever people went to try to go to a bank or something, you go to a page, go to a website, so that your bank credentials could be stolen. This happened, we discovered the hack a couple years ago. It happened again last year, the year before, against around 4 billion routers in Brazil. It was 4 billion before they got over 4 billion before they got stopped in Brazil, and I just read where it's happening again in Poland right now, or just occurred in Poland. But none of this should have ever happened if attention had been paid to securing the trust relationship between the control plane. The control plane is the network protocols, like the routing protocols, and then the management plane, which is your management protocols for all the network devices or access or management. And then the data plane, which is the subscriber data traffic. There is no, in none of these networks, have been no attention paid off to securing and separating those different services. Because the management plane of that network had been secured so that only trusted devices, trusted users, network technicians, network engineers could have access to those IP addresses of the router. Someone said in some other part of the world would not have ever been able to attack this network. Now, one customer there were 2 customers I got involved with personally. One of them had visualization and computation tools on their network, so when problems started happening, they could dial in very quickly with their visual analytics and see what happened and go and stop it. One of the tools were able to stop the problem after about $6,800, like 600, they got off before they got stopped. The second telco that we were involved with, it was like over 6,000 routers before they got stopped. Just because they did not make an investment in a tool that monitors that. Like I said, in Brazil was 4 billion, I mean, you don't have any of that in Poland. You got to take attention when you're loading these networks, like whether it's your business or there's privilege like this, to secure all those different planes. Here's a utility story. Utilities a few years ago started getting worried about deregulation, where they might have to compete with other utilities to sell you power. There might be, say, a power company. They would come in and compete with them to sell you your power at home to deregulation. So they started getting into other businesses. Specifically, cable TV, now they're getting into cable TV, voiceover out there, etc. So, initially, back in 2011, started getting into cable TV and internet. And part of that, they were put in routers, and the routers that we're talking about cable, we call them cable load termination systems. And that's basically a router that terminates the cable, actually it's a cable load. And then you have a heading where you have all your building systems, in the middle where is the server that functions the building system, but also functions to the service that is responsible for providing your cable TV service. And in a cable network, we call that heading. In a telco or enterprise, you might fit well, in a telco, you call it a central office. In an enterprise business, you call it your, say, your data center. So you have all these different services you put in, and again, there are going to be all those boxes and systems you put in, are going to be different vendors that are coming together to tie all this together, and they don't have to work together. Their contracts are like a box of straw. Everybody's got their own straw, their own contract, they're there to provide their service. And somebody doesn't tie it all together. It may or may not be secure. But one of the things that they commonly do is they want remote access from wherever they're headquartered at. They want a remote capability of that. In many cases, they'll go and put in a dedicated firewall or dedicated firewall VPN router so that whenever you have problems, they can come in and help you. What happened in this case, this organization got hacked. The bad guy from the vendor network was able to pivot off the vendor, go into the utilities, and getting to that vendor system that was hosted on site. Because the trust relationships were not held down in security. You locked down who needed to talk to who needed to connect, when do they need to connect, how do they need to connect. There was no attention to that. So what I was able to witness is talking to the technician who showed up one day unannounced. Is that's how we found out this is the guy that showed up and heard that possible replacement. I started social engineering and figured out, that's why I figured out they got hacked. They were there, replaced, brand new boxes. Yeah, oh, get free up. But knowing what I know about security, my question is, if we did not mind today, is when that box got popped, because of the trust relationship, technical system on the campus, got popped. This time, that system, one system from one vendor got hacked inside that vendor network. They have these control access. I have not seen this yet, but one of my readers was could be happening in other places where other systems have gotten hacked, and a bad guy got on the pivot off of, say, the first vendor's going to have to go and jump onto another vendor, head back out to yet another vendor's manufacturing location. Keep pivoting off customers and manufacturers, spread the news because the network is not being locked down. I haven't seen this yet. It's the kind of thing I think about when I apply this around. I hope it's not happening. I ain't running around in circles out like London. It's probably happening. So here's the good news. Here's what it's recommendation for anyway. Typically when the networks are being designed, what we see is network management is performed on the same physical infrastructure is the there's only one network infrastructure for the whole network, so if you're doing network management, all this single infrastructure, it's all formatted network management. So here's some advice. My goal when I go in to break into a network, come up with a strategy, take over the network. I am taking this network infrastructure apart, looking at your LinkedIn, I'm looking at your social media, I'm looking at those resumes, the network has on bragging about their certification, they're bragging about what they did in their previous job, I'm my target. If I'm looking at that, better to know that the bad guys are looking at it. So we'll go and take that apart, we'll call reverse systems engineer, hire things put together, protocols, and things, and get in the head of the network, how what kind of skills we got, and figure out how this works. And where we're going after is this right here, not where the network managed the brains of the operation that controls all of this equipment. What I recommend to do, especially for the new equipment today, is there's management interfaces built in. Hardware management interfaces built into a lot of the servers and the routing equipment today. Use that equipment, those interfaces, and lock out access on the next line. If you do that, go and use the logic. Go and use not only VLANs, VLANs you can route between, it doesn't matter. But go in and lock down your layer 2, your layer 3, your routing segmentation so that no one, you got to lock it down logically so no one can find this network management system. If it can be connected to, that's what we're going to. Some way, somehow, that's what we're going to do. We can touch that box. We're going to find a way in. We're going to own everything. It does not matter how many patches and what you're running on your Windows server. It does not matter how good your Unix handler is, how strong your password and things are on your Windows server nowadays. If we can get to the network and by the way, that's what's the trouble thing. We're going to take all this over and we're going to everything. So, optimal, if you've got the budget, especially the critical infrastructure, is to go and put in a separate network management network just for network operations. It's a rounding error. We can roll it down these really large, complex networks. So why not go and run it in a separate network, here's a network and hide this what brings you the operation. Come on with these management interfaces here and run them back to a dedicated network. So if you want to down here, break into your network, you're never going to find be completely controlling influence of the network. What if an adversary gets into this network and they start to change the code going about it? It's a load. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Here's some suggestions. Where do we go? Where do we plug in? Scott talked about this, and Tim specifically got into some of the latest problems with our point. Wherever we plug in the networks, wherever we plug in, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on your capital equipment. You bought the most expensive network equipment. It has all the features, but it turns into doesn't just expensive blinky lights because nobody's using the features we find, we go out and test, to lock down all of these protocols, basic protocols, so that when somebody like Valerie comes over the fence or finds a way through your doors, and gets physical access to that network, all of these protocols are left wide open. All somebody like Valerie has to do is get a connection into the network. And all of these protocols are low-hanging fruit on the network. Though the organization has spent money, and they bought top-of-the-line equipment. They got the Cisco, they got the Juniper, they got the Brocade, they got the best blinking lights you can buy. But the security features are not in there, so all these protocols are sitting out there. Like Dallas, and we'll just pick one. The recommendation there is to go and lock these things down, lock these protocols down, lock down the Preview protocols like the Spanish protocol. I'm not here to sell anything. One of the things I'd recommend looking at is Cisco doing services. Make a BYLD project. Do the whole Android, iPhone, everybody's going to bring their own device over. Good way to go and attack this is to bring in something like Cisco apps and go little by little attack the different infrastructure. Start bringing in BYLD security, start with wireless, and move your way into some fixed infrastructure and tighten these protocols down. So somebody tries, they will never do that. Then you can shut these layer 2 first hop protocols down and take this little hanging fruit away from the back of us. Because I'm telling you, I've been all over the road, when we get into the network, this is low hanging fruit. Always works. One of the recommendations is everybody's talking about whitelisting applications. I recommend going in and implementing whitelisting in the network infrastructure. Know what your traffic flows are, who you need to talk to, where, why, and how. And that is the only thing that's permitted. It isn't defined. There is not a policy that defines these devices need to talk to each other. It is explicitly blocked. Anything outside of what's permitted is logged instead of trying to log everything. You're getting overwhelmed and you're not finding anything. Because today, people have logged you and they're not finding anything. The bad guys are in the networks are overwhelmed. But if we were to go in and block down based on trust relationships at the network there, we could catch a lot of things. And put in the visibility in the IDSs and your net flow to know what you're trusting. So if anything is outside of that normal trust, that's what we need to spend our time looking at instead of looking at everything. Right now, everybody's trying to go and look at everything. And I used to sell IDSs, but I started feeling burdened unethical because I couldn't sell all these IDSs for a lot of people's networks, and they were overwhelmed. You spend tons of time trying to do these things, and nobody was looking at them because they're trying to look at everything. If you go and you lock down just what is permitted and trusted by the business, then the IDS becomes manageable, and it's a good tool. So, that's the questions. Any questions you guys have? Well, there's a lot more intelligence out, especially in critical infrastructure. Now we have the Homeland Security efforts. All the different states have a local Homeland Security office, and if you have access to that, we've got contacts. Depending on what organization you work with, you can go and reach into them and get, depending on who they are, their level of work, you can get different levels of tell students so that they can understand the threat. And then there's a great deal of open source intelligence now. So, thinking of largely their banks, their utility, there's a critical infrastructure, building intelligence, and helping customers with their organization. For today, I want to tell you we're going to do this again next year, probably doing it in February. We set a date yet. We want to keep it up buffer between Cyber Huntsville ISSA conference in June and the Takedown conference in August. I want to call out so that everyone knows that BSides in Action is going to be amazing for BSides in Action. That's going to be a really good BSides conference. BSides Tampa is next Saturday. BSides Memphis is, I think it's going to be their Thursday before the BSides event. It's going to be in September. Encourage you to go out and support these other